So what we're going to do today is we're going to find all all roots of a degree 3 polynomial. That's all the x-intercepts. So yesterday we were just checking to see if a number worked, practicing synthetic division. Today we're going to actually use synthetic division, and I'm going to show you the numbers to start with. I'm not going to give you a number to check. We're going to figure those out. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the factors of the last number. So factors are just all the numbers that go into that. So the numbers that go into 1 is 1, right? So that's the factors of the last number. Then you're going to take the factors of the first number. So the factors of 2 are 1 goes into 2 and 2 goes into 2. And those are the only factors of 2. You're going to take the positive and the negative of the factors of D over the factors of A. So the factor of D is 1. The factors of A are 1 and 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this to figure out numbers to try. So here's what I'd recommend. Take that first number, divide it by each of those last numbers. So 1 divided by 1 is 1. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So these are my possible roots. Now, these are not all the possible roots. These are just the possible whole number and fraction roots. I talked a little bit yesterday about sometimes it'll be really messy decimals. For synthetic division, you only check whole numbers, you only check fractions. If it has a messy decimal, I'll show you how to get that at a later date. So what I'm going to recommend is you always try your whole numbers and save your fractions, because fractions with synthetic division can get messy, especially if they don't work. They get really messy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try either +1 or -1. And I think I'm going to try +1, right? So I'm going to do this in pencil, because if it doesn't work, I'm going to erase it. So I'm going to try +1. My coefficients are 2, 1, -2, and -1. 2, 1, -2, -1. So bring down the 2, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, and then add. Now I got really, really lucky this time. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this up in pen. It worked. The first number I picked worked. Do not always expect that to happen. It will not always work that way. So since I got the remainder here, 1 is a factor or a root. So my roots are 1, and then we're going to check for other roots. Now here's the cool thing. I could keep doing synthetic division if all of my roots are whole numbers and fractions, which they're not always. Or I can do something I know how to do and do quadratic formula. So the cool thing about synthetic division, once you find your remainder, you can take these 3 numbers and create a whole new polynomial. So what it's going to do, this was x to the third. So now this is going to become x squared. This is going to become x, and that's going to become 1. So it drops it down. Synthetic division allows you to do that. So now that it's a quadratic, we've worked with quadratics before. So I could either factor here, or I could do the quadratic formula. And I think I'm going to do the quadratic formula. I think we're more comfortable with quadratic formula. I think it's quicker than factoring. I think it's easier than factoring. Let's just do it. So the quadratic formula is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So b is 3, so -b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. a. So we're going to get some review of quadratic formula here. So now all I have to do is plug that in. So negative 3 plus square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times 1 over 2 times 2. So my next root is negative 1/2. And then all I have to do is change that plus to a minus to get my third root. And it is negative 1. So final answer using synthetic division and quadratic formula, which we're going to have to do with every problem, is 1, negative 1/2, and negative 1. If I type this equation into Desmos, my original equation, it would cross the x-axis at those 3 points.